away scot-free for the last probably 2 minutes because of the choice that they made, which we were thinking was definitely not going to work out for them. Down below now, they have to start playing the game.
Yeah, it's just so unlikely that you pull zone favor like this. And now the question is, what do you do with it, as they have decided to do a little bit of a late rotate? Okay, finally they do get in. Nick A30 is going to get split from his squad. Take a look at the wide shot, though. Everyone has to disperse. Everyone has to shockwave, crash pad, anything to get on out. The last to go, though, is High Sky and crew. They're up in the air. A couple beams are going to come in. None are going to land, though. High Sky, Twexy are going to get in nice and safe. There goes Scoped, meeting up on the layer as well. They have a fairly clear layer in front of them. This looks great. Here, though, the first team to touch in was Smacked, Casker, and Unknown. They're going to lead the push here, lead the rotate on out.
For good reason. Remember, they were here down below with Nick A30 and crew. Macwood, Zexro, and Calc, though, are on height. We saw them shockwave across pretty early and continue to battle for it up above. Now Smacked, Unknown, Casker up at the front, though. They can start to look back. Smacked has finished the tunnel. He's looking for opportunities. Still, Calc, Macwood, and Zex are on height.
And you see Acorn just lighting up the feed right now. He's going to find Nosh. Smack's going to find replays as Slacks follows up onto Sticks there to finish that crew up as well. And it seems like Nate Hill and company might have been all wrapped up and taken out the game, as did replays too. And that's how quick the tables can turn. Now looking at who's in front of the zone here. It's Dubs, Mega, and Bizzle trying to catch up, playing the outer edge. I'm seeing Storm Surge ring as well, so that's the big fear of squad-based game modes. Is you're very likely to just have this issue here. Casker and company, though, 2 Elans. Not a problem for them.
All right, next to another team. Miro picks up Eclipse. Scope, Twixie, and High Sky have taken height from Zexro and Calc, and I believe they've lost Macwood, so they have to go on as just a single duo. They're going to continue to be fired upon by the team on height. This might be an easy game for them because I don't see anybody else with the idea at all to take height from here. No shockwaves firing up on the side. Nobody even trying to pressure from second height. And they'll be able to fire upon, pressure the entire lobby. I think this might be an easy game for High Sky, Scoped, and Twexy here.
It really could be. I saw Macwood and Zexra on second height, so they're right on that layer. Finally, someone does look up. It's a couple big shots onto High Sky, who does have minis to recoup, though, so he's going to bounce right back into the game. In the kill feed, though, you see Chap finally falls. Benji finds keys, so Benji's still in this game as well. And there it is, that shot of second height. It's a box fight. Zexro, Macwood, and Calculator looking to jump down onto Slack's Acorn. And Jack there. Calc is going to lose, though. He's going to get traded out. So they end up losing their exchange. It's not going to work out. And the high ground attempt was a fail, as Macwood ends up right back with Zexro.
They don't have any mats either to really do much more in the game, too. They're going to try to sneak their way through. I still saw Edgy up in this game. Benji and Mr. Savage are up, too. Macwood with an engagement on the backside of this. They're split now. He gets into the other box. We still have Twexy and Scoped up on height. And they have nobody to really mess with at all. Zexro's going on to Furious right now, and still low ground battles happening over and over and over. They're even using the shockwaves as if it's season 3 to get people out of zone.
Finally now, High Sky is running out of material here, so high ground is going to be forced to make a move. We thought they had a clear victory ahead of them, but it might just be crumbling here. The dream of high ground, when you don't have material, forces you on down. Zexro finally falls now, and yes, there it is. Daze somehow turns the table and takes that height, and that's what happens when you do not have material. But it's a 3v1 firing range up above, and just wooden material is not going to be enough. Down he comes. You got to pay the price now, and yes, here comes the pickaxes. Will they be able to find it? Of course they do. Scope's going to be the one to take out Day. Finally, a little bit of a refresher, but so much Storm Zone was traded there into High Sky's health pool. Now down they go. 9 players still in the game, so a bunch of solos still standing here.
Yeah, that there is, but Acorn, Jack, and Slacks are still on low. They're going to start to fight against Furious. So many people just got launched in the zone. A ridiculous amount. Zone is 12 seconds away from closing, and now Slacks and Acorn in a 2 versus 2, potentially just 1. I think there might be a knock. There he is out in zone. He's going to trade. Oh! It's knocked out. And that's only 22 points, actually, so we misdid the math slightly. Unknown, Casker, and Smacked once again, though. 16 points for them. That is also a pretty good start for this team.
That is pretty massive. That's not too bad, man. Unknown, Casker, and Smack. We saw that they were one of the first teams to get that early rotate as the zone pulled downwards, and it seems like everyone who was down there did pretty well. I think outside of I was trying to see if Nick A30 and crew managed to get some big points here for the first page. Doesn't seem like it, but not too bad of a start either for Mr. Savage, Benji, and Lachie, who picked up 5 points.
Yeah, a very good start for them, but it all hinges on taking out Zayt, Saf, and Stretch from the veteran trios very, very fast. And I don't know if that's going to work out. Regardless, here's the rest of the page. Clipsay, Class, and Crims, they had a rough time getting up that mountain in general in 5th zone, and then coming off of it, they spent so much. So they'll only get 2 points from eliminations, and then regardless, all the way, I mean, still.
It's taken out here by the Xset crew.
That he does, split from his team, and not much you can do in those situations. Ninja gives over the mobility to Arkham. He still has bouncers potentially in his inventory too, so he can still move as he can. Furious is picked up Unknown. Ooh, bouncer for... They bounced them out actually, and Ninja's now down. Xset brilliantly worked that the crash pad down below. They're gonna even shake down. Arkham just has to clutch by himself. They don't have any. Okay, he does have shields, but he has to find the space to use it, and he's not gonna be able to do it. 10 builds, 6 builds, 3 builds, a player in his box. That's the end of that. Another game. I don't think they get any. Oh, they got the 1, if I recall.
Yeah, they ended up getting Jamper and Avery in that one, so right. A couple points still. Could have been a lot worse. Big come up for Xset though. They needed that. Remember, they had 0 points from game 1, and now all of a sudden a few frags, and those chug splashes are going to pay very great dividend here as we are getting to that half in, half out now.
There's a big decision here. Remember, Macwood and Zax had height in the last game. They still have Shockwave split on all of their members, I believe, but big issue for them is Storm Surge before they can even try to attempt to challenge heights, which is Zayt, Saf, and Stretch. Ooh, what a shot from Zexo. He connects but doesn't finish it off, but they don't worry about their surge issues anymore.
I'm just looking at the feed there. Saw Bucky find himself a frag on Nick A30, so already Creo Kanata still in the game, cooking up here. Let's see, Zexo crashes across, just barely misses an enemy box, and now he's struggling to get back to his teammates. He finally finds the home here, and it's still upwards toward that second height. Let's see, Macwood finally glances up. That high ground hold from Stretch, Zay, and Saf is so up there. Pretty much anti-Shockwave style. Illis is going to be the one on second height, though. As the Shockwave comes out, that's a white tag. And no, they're not going to find it as they all have to reload now. Xset's going to find Ronaldo, too.
The remnants of the Xset crew are still fragging. Illis and Furious were up, but we saw Illis go way out in the zone, looking for Slacks, looking for Acorn. Slacks is up. I don't see his teammates, though, so that's a rough spot for them. Commandment, Edgy are the only players left on his team. And I did see Scoped and Twexy get taken out. High Sky might be the last player remaining on that one. They were very far up the leaderboard. Oh, Commandment's so close to engaging, but they're going to back away and now has to find a different layer. This is rough, though. Player in the box misses the shots, and he cracks right back against Commandments. Edgy now has to hold on so that they can get the heals off.
That might be the deciding factor right there. The refresher that he misses out on and the punishment that comes back. So unfortunate for him. Now let's see what Commandment can do. He's got a slither of health. Cannot mess with the zone here. Edgy's going solo dolo, playing for himself right now, trying to get out in the distance. Commandment is about as good as dead, but no, he's still ghosting nearby, sticking by like a shadow here. Has to pop a med kit. He will find the 10 seconds. That's actually so incredible, but no, a Shockwave disrupts just that. Now he has to shield up instead.
On height still, it's Stretch, Zayt, and Saf. They've been pressuring the entire game. Creo, Bucky, and Kanata full trio alive. Macwood and Zexo, I believe, has lost Calc. Same thing for Xset. This only had AV now alive as Day takes out Knights. They're continuing to fire down, and I think this might be wrapped up. Still 7 teams up alive, but I think the only full trio is here up on height. Potentially Creo, Bucky, and Kanata might have a face-off against them later on.
Bucky's been turning up as well, finding a bunch of frags, and as I talk about it, Commandment ticks over to the storm line there as well, and another point for Bucky's crew. On low ground now, Xset, V Bucky, V Creo, they're gonna win on top, and Furious is by himself, but no, falls to Shark as well. And now Shark finds everyone in the low ground. They're done. It's Kanata by himself. It's Zexro and Macwood as well, just left alive. So remnants of the crew, all these trios here trying to do their best LMG on height, though, from Stretch. My gosh, the disruptor.
That's brutal. Macwood goes down. Zexro left by himself. It might be Xsets who end up winning the day after this, but no, Shark down as well. So all they have to do is clean up the spoils. They grab extra metal too, extra materials. Oh my goodness, what a pull from Stretch. Now a 1 versus 3. And almost impossible to see this going any other way, although he takes height. But with the mats that Stretch pulled, how much does this player have remaining? They're going to go down and start to fire out, but different layers and a lot of space down below. Oh gosh, this just got really dangerous for this trio.
It's got really interesting now. It's going to the last seconds here. They're trying to figure out how can we play this out for the possible heal off, for the possible disruption. Down comes the Doom's bomb as well. Zexro still has heals though. He's gonna hit all of them. It might just be enough if he can find the siphon here. He's trying to hold him out. Great edit too, and Zexro wins.
At the top of this game, it's not of any of the teams that you would expect at all. Bucky, Creo, and Kanata had a 17-point game somehow, 10 points from eliminations, and then they pushed up towards the final point threshold with AV, Rogue Shark, and Knight, Stretch, and Saf, as well as Ronaldo, Furious, and Illus to get those top 4 spots. So 17 points for them, 15 for AV, Rogue Shark, and Knight, Stretch, and Saf. Even though they got second place, only the 14 points off of high ground. There really wasn't much for them to be able to spot down below them.
No, that's what happens when he goes over those old builds as well. Just kind of clogs up all those sight lines. Another 0-point game though for Booga, Jamper, and Evers. They're at the bottom of the barrel this time around. Height, okay. That bouncer shockwave puts them right in the prime position for the high ground now.
But on the other side of fifth zone, it's Avery, Booga, and Jamper. So that duel will continue. You could see the position, right? Direct north in zone means that Ninja and Crew are going to do very well this game. But it pulls the other way. Avery, Booga, and Jamper are the ones that are going to get zone. So these guys have a high chance of finally doing something off of Stark Industries uncontested, as long as they can convert.
And I want to give a lot of respect to Booga there. He had his shockwave ready to take high ground if the zone pulled in the opposite direction. But being that they get it, you see that they elevate themselves upwards so that they are building the anti-shockwave so the players across from them can't just steal height. And that's what happens when you do cut across. You get targeted. Ninja gets hit a few times and into the zone he goes, but bouncing back now. Does find his team. They're all back together. The first full moving here, going right back to the cliff lip. That was 95 meters away from Booga when they marked it. So this is quite the stretch to pull off, especially if they're going to tarp it from the low ground. Yes, Clix doesn't even have that much material already. Arkham will have to take the lead here shortly.
And a couple nice shots. These are the most stacked Ninja battle games we've seen, I think, all season long in any single one of these weeks. Arkham and them forced to take ultimate low though, and this did not pan out whatsoever. Ninja back on the backside of this. He takes out Nosh. Oh, might even get another one. It could be Zypher on the backside, but they have to go up.
Oh, he does.
Disaster. He does. He picks up Nosh as well as the other player, and there we go. Shockwave up on the start, but by himself. Ninja might be again.
Wait a second, no.
The other way, but this, yeah. At least.
Wait.
Don't just pull back. He gets back in the box. They can res him. No way.
Ninja's gonna get saved here now by Clix, and yes, it was Jared and Nosh he got to take out there in a 2v1 on the storm line, so it wasn't for nothing. And the shockwave back, I guess, pays off. He gets right back to his teammate. We'll just call it calculated, guys. Give him the credit. Here now, though, Arkham takes the lead. Okay, this is as far as we've seen Ninja make it in quite some time. Out of all the weekends I think we've seen him play, Arkham and Clix are leading this team to victory now. Booga on high ground is going to find Av. Yes, huge knock here. He still has that shockwave.
Well, the AV just absolutely deleted with that burst AR. Oh, there's a fight for height though. Avery's going to get knocked out. Oh gosh, this is getting very dangerous now. Who's the team up above? Avery's dead, and they lose it. So somebody has battled them from what looked like a really good game. This is only the first place threshold that they're going to pass. It's Eclipse and Class, and they use all of these old builds that they had created earlier.
For a second there, I saw Jamper's name pop up in the feed. But yes, it is Class and Eclipse now. High ground pressure. Man, this is their opportunity for Booga Jamper and Avery to do something big, and they've kind of thrown the high ground, and now the pressure is enough to start burning through their material as well. 300 mats left for Booga. He's forcing down to low ground. They don't want to be second height. I'm assuming his crewmates don't have much either. Take a look here. Arkham Ninja still alive. Click's still in the game as well. 4 eliminations. Looking for this low ground peak here. Ninja needs a siphon desperately now. 2 shotguns in the inventory. He's scavenging together now.
Yeah, they do clear all the ultimate low. Arkham gets a lot of mats. They're still going to be able to play this, but once again, the zone goes up Stark in the final situation. Good replace. They continue forward. They're going to try to get up. Ninja right on the wall with somebody else. One more shot. He does make it through, and I think they picked that up. Oh, I think Avery just went up on height against the team that took it from them, Eclipse and Class. I think they're still up there. They're losing their final member. Crims has been down and out of this game. So mid-ground fight, they pushed all the way to 6th all of a sudden. This is a lot of points now for Ninja and crew.
Wait. I saw Avery fall too, and Class takes out someone too. So Blake is now on high ground, but hold up. Ninja Doe in the low ground is going to find a siphon. Yes, it's going to keep him in the game in the last second, and Cease goes down there too. So the exchange is back and forth. Now, Blake takes out Click. So yeah, they did make it all the way to the end, but it's the zone that's going to be the problem now. What is Click's gonna do here? He's sitting down. Yes, they know it's over on high ground. Zexra once again with the
14 points for both the top 2 teams there. Calc, Macwood, and Zexro with only 4 eliminations in that game, which makes sense because it feels like the Mountain claimed the rest.
Definitely did, and you saw they didn't have any builds up there, but the star of the hour, Ninja, Clicks and Arkham find 7 eliminations, massive, half of which came from Ninja himself. Keys, Blake, and Cease there were the disruptors again for the high ground. Those 4 eliminations coming on the hands or from the hands of Eclipse, Class, and Crims there. They were actually the ones battling up. If you look at that feed, the way it was breaking out, so no surprise to see them towards the top. Here's your second page of the points, the way they were divvied out, of course. Zate, Stretch, and Saf carried the first half of the show.
That they did, and they end 1 point shy of Mr. Savage, Benji, and Lecce, which neither of these teams at this point care about. What I do care about is Ronaldo, Furious, and Illis, 0 points. Bucky, Creo, and Kanata. The play split. An anti-shockwave. Ninja, Clicks, and Arkham are still in the endgame. Cypher, Nosh, and then not too far away to the travel from Sweaty Sands, where we saw them all grouped up together. Is once again starting to work out for them, but they get split once again. Not staying together with the shockwaves. It's not going to be too much of a big deal because Ninja will be able to get right back into it, but there's another team. Oh, Ninja in trouble now. Shockwave will get him out of it though, but he gets chunked down. As long as he gets back to his team though, things will be looking good.
He's almost there. There's an enemy right here. Those are not his walls either. He has to be very, very careful, but this is what we called out. You give Arkham and the team movement and they're gonna be in the end game, so they've made it this far. Can they continue to hold out? It's that anti-shockwave style we talked about, the spread now as Zay is all the way up top. Look at the damage that the Doom's bomb can do. That's what we mean by it is devastating on high ground, especially. They're looking to go pick up another victory here today.
Ninja picked up one, but gets traded to Cypher. Clicks is also trading well. Right now, 16 teams still left alive. Macwood just picks up Eclipse, so the team in first place still doing very, very well. Here's what I was talking about with the anti-shockwave and the Doom's Gauntlet. Stretch is playing so far higher than his team, and they continue to play these different layers so that anytime there's a shockwave play, it's not going to be too huge. Zate with the Mystical Bomb, he's looking for any of these single individual tarps so that he can knock down all the way down to low. He's basically cleared it all out. He's forced everybody to play low ground.
And also, they brought the gauntlets to the end game as well. Here's your back-to-back game 3 and 4, or game 2 and 3 winners here is Zexro, Macwood, and Kaut. 1 elimination so far. Material counts getting lower and lower, but they do have 6 crash pads, so there's a lot that they can do with this. Upgraded shotguns as well. Box fight, perfect. 120 Shag. He's gonna do looking for the follow-up here. Zexro just playing lurk right now.
Xset's in the same situation that we had in game 2, all on low ground. Macwood picks up Coop, and Saf also gets that finished. They're doing very, very well, even though they don't have that ultimate height. Zayt, Stretch, and Saf have gotten all the way towards the end now, and it looks like we might have a repeat of game number 2, although Zexor goes down before that even happens. It's AV who takes advantage of it.
I'm still so impressed seeing Cease up as well, staying alive here with Blake. This is someone who's been so consistent finding their points. Saf's gonna find Commandment now as he tries to take a stab for height. They get denied, and now that's the 4th elimination here for Saf, Zayt, and Stretch here. Okay, these are the gauntlets coming into play, just at unlimited pressure. Can continue to put the shots down. 24 HP now for Zayt. Zayt needs to opt in to possibly drop something here to take the heals with him. Stretch is coming down. This is the same thing they did last time, though, and they lost the game because of it. They're coming down early. 10 players are still up, Balla.
10 players, 5 teams. Cease, Blake alive, Illis by himself, Skittles by himself, and then Xset down on ultimate low. That's all of them. Skittles will go next to Saf, though, and he needs to take that box fight. He's going to be able to get pinched all the way bound. Blake also fighting against Xset, and the bomb is going to make that actually go all the way the distance. Skittles takes out Blake, gets the siphon back into this. Zayt did not pop the medkit. 3 teams now left. Xset still has 2. Zayt, Saf, and Stretch have to fix what they did in the second game, which was go down to 2nd place, and here it is, Xset against Zayt, Saf, and Stretch on height.
Xset is so good, and still a full trio. They are the kings of the low ground. We have seen them do this tournament after tournament. Somehow their communication is bar none. The fire, though, from the big mystical bomb is gonna play a factor. That's white tags. Oh my gosh, that's it. He's burning. I think it's all over. They can't withstand this pressure of the storm now. Shockwave's gonna change that, though.
They go up, get away from the fire. We do have a heal off. Stretch is up on height right now with the medkit. AV gets 1, maybe 2. If he gets this, no. Dude, let's look at where it actually got them. It was 16 points for Xset. For Zayt, Stretch, and Saf, 17 points. So not only do they improve on the win, but they keep the elims high. So they'll push their way up there. I think that's 2 games that they've now gotten close to 17 points, though. Looking at the rest of this, Coop, Chap, and Skittles, 13 points. Commandment, Center, and Edgy, 12 points. Ronaldo, Furious, and Illis 11 points. So that might be a team who definitely is in contention. Booger, Jumper, and Avery continue their rise and start to play pretty decently. But what I'm looking here down at 8th place, Young Calc, Mac, and Zexor, who were our 1st place team going to this game, I think they probably maintained, but it's definitely not enough to solidify this as an easy task going forward.
No, with just 7 points, it definitely keeps it nice and close, but you got to give credits to Cease, Keys, and Blake's there as well. Another 8-point game for them, staying consistent to the point threshold that they've been accumulating this entire run. So they're also still very much in the question. 1 pop-off game for any of those teams. I think for any team, honestly, right now, coming into this final run.
Are starting to fire off with the gauntlets and the mystical bomb. This is their tournament to win at this point.
They have everything in their favor. Will they be able to hold it out? That is the question. We've seen them make the big mistake once already tonight. Didn't let it happen the 2nd time around. Can they go for the 3rd time's the charm to take home the crown today? Creo's gonna find himself an elimination in the feed there onto Jared FPS. Jared is rotating so late on the storm line, so that loot's gonna be foregone. It's lost. No refresher for them. Zone's gonna pop straight north now too. This is a interesting one because it's not going through any old builds. Everyone's gonna have to build fresh here now, straight out into the open and possibly up terrain.
There was no teams up on that north side at all, pretty much, except for Scoped, High Sky, and Crew. Miro versus 2K and Day in an engagement down against Scented Edgy and everybody else. Stretch finds a team to start firing upon. They're not too far away from Xset. And this guy right here, Calc, Zexor, and Macwood. It also is going to be slight elevation up. Oh, big problem here that they have to solve. And they're ready for it. They're trying to get the triple spray because they know 211 below, and they didn't get anything from that.
This is really, really bad. 30 seconds remain now. They need some massive tags here. Calc's gonna find himself right into the middle. Twexy's battling Saf for high ground. This is massive. This can hold some huge implications now. Zayt and Crew have to come on over quickly. And yes, they back him up. High ground is safe for now. Twexy nearly ruined that entire thing. Look at how low he got Saf for a second there. Cracked into his shield, cracked into his HP just a little bit there. It was looking like it could have been all over for a second. 1,600 damage above the storm surge threshold, and in 5 seconds Calc, Zexro, and Macward are gonna have to figure it out and find themselves some massive tags.
And they're not too far down below, not even far away from second height at all. It's Bizzle, Dubs, and Mega who are there. That's scary, but they are going to start to crash pad across. Yes, both teams get away, but still second height for both of them too.
No.
Storm Surge is now active, but they get above at the last second, 155. Macwood just takes a couple of ticks, but Zexro goes down in the process, but with his life, he at least gives a little bit of breathing room to Macwood and Calc.
They're still in it. They're still alive, still accruing what could be placement points that are gonna get given out soon. 14 players still up. Big shots coming in. No, the guard was left down. This is getting closer and closer now. Safto finding eliminations onto Eclipse. Remember, they needed those elims. This is getting closer and closer to being from first. And yes, they have it. One more elim.
One more elim will tie it up. One more, but still the victory royales. There was 2 for Zexro and Calc. There's another one. They've tied up the game. Now they've just got to close it out. And already with the elims that they've got, I think they're going to continue. Nobody challenging height. Nobody threatening the reign of Sap, Zayton, Stretch. We thought had no chance in this tournament. The way they were playing Doom's Domain. Calc is down. That means it's all left to Macwood. And he's down 2 to Twexy.
There you guys have it. This is going to be what is the victory run now for Saf on high ground here. Look at the Harpoon.
Xset's still up.
Xset could possibly still do this, but the elims, you have to think, it's just getting it further and further now. 8 eliminations for high ground hold here.
Knight just wipes Mega, Dubs, and Bizzle. Shark gets traded out against Stretch, but we still have AV and Knight up, I believe, in the top 6, which means that they could start to rise with the elims just as well. There's another one for Sap to start picking off. The Shockwave up to Heights does not quite work out for that player. And now we're up to 9 elims. Oh, finds another one in zone 2, but that was just a knock. Dubs is down out of this game, and 3 teams are left. It's AV and Knight. If they wipe everybody, this could still be doable, Monster.
Still doable, definitely. They have so many eliminations. My gosh, you would have known it was this close now in these final moments. Unknown was still in the storm line. Knight's got to be careful here. Doom's Mystical Bomb, though, is putting out some big shots. Can he find this trade? No. He gets stolen away by Stretch on height. Av now has to go back into the zone. He's got 7 floppers. He can definitely win this, but frags are what matter here. Yes, he's turning back. That's the whole trio right there, Baller. Can he find any of them? He didn't even tag him once.
No, not a single time. He's going to have to pull out this AR and do work. These floppers aren't going to just cut it. They think he's on height. They think he's on height. There we go. Shockwave forward. No. One more flopper. Yes. One more flopper again, and he'll shockwave them all out to height, potentially. Did it land? Yes. AV. Saf is still in, though, and they're starting to chase after him. No more floppers now, too. Oh. And the Siphon will back AV an opportunity, but no. Zay, Saf, and Stretch will lock it up with a 13
at that point, taking 10th place there, only 5 points. That's enough for other players to definitely close the gap. We'll see how close it was, though. Up towards the top, 23 points. Zay, Stretch, and Saf. My gosh, massive game. Close run for Av, Rogue Shark, and of course, Knight there, too, closing in the distance.
Yeah, so I'm even trying to do the math right here. 3 elims plus the extra 3 would have been 6. They definitely would have gotten close, but it wouldn't even mattered in that case. So the rest of this in game number 5, Coop, Chap, and Skittles, 5 points. Commandment, Sent, and Edgy. Yep, this is basically what we knew. Oh, Bucky, Creo, and Kanata only got 2 points in that last game. I guess the fact that they had that weird high ground position and they spent so much to hold it and then ended up not even mattering as it went all the way across the way really hurt them. Let's look at the overall leaderboards, though, with a final standing. 16th place, Ninja Clicks and Arkham. A very good showing, I think, from this team.
Yeah, definitely. Not too bad at all for what it's worth. Definitely a huge game 3 there. You saw Ninja popping off in that end game. It was definitely the highlight for him of the day. Overall, though, I think everyone had a couple of moments of greatness here as we are now approaching what would have been the much closer portions of the competition as we get closer towards that Acorn, Jack, and Slacks up towards the top. Really fizzled out after that opening game, that round 1, that 22 points, massive game, and then just fizzled out.
Yeah, and in this game, you saw Acorn get split from his team, get knocked out by the Xset guys in the first place. In any case, here's the top 10. 6 to 10, Booga Jamper and Avery, 33 points, 11, 11, 11. Hey, that's not bad.
Not bad at all. 3 games. Yeah, 3 game stretch there. Remember, to win a big FNCS like a top 5, it only takes about 4 out of 6. So finding that third, streak, that hot streak there, not too bad.
Yeah. I like that. Regardless, Commandment sent an edgy 34 points. Definitely not the biggest showing from them, considering they're one of the top trios in the region, and they consistently are placing top 3 in these events. Bizzle, Mega, and Dubs, finally, they switch off of Doom's Domain, and for good reason. We saw the mess that it was, but there they are in 8th.
Very good game for them as well. Coop, Chap, and Skittles, I think one of the more consistent, underrated teams, as was Cease, Keys, and Blake here. All again, just consistent here, Bala. It's been quite the competition.
Well, final page now. Let's see exactly how big of a margin Zayt, Saf, and Stretch won by. But what a day. 57 points at the top against AV Rogue Shark and Knight in second place. Calc, Macwood, and Zexo right behind them. This was close all the way until the end.
So impressive to do that as well, with 2 games like honestly being thrown out the window. They still had that little bit of buffer there. There it is, NRG, Zayt, Liquid Stretch, and of course Saf there. All of course your champions here for week 5 Ninja Battles event.